Quick update before I get to the tap handle that I'm featuring today. I know that I mentioned previously I'm going to be updating a couple of umbrellas onto my shop. I haven't had a chance to get around to that. I've been busy with a few other things. I actually need to move my storage, so I'm going to be posting some stuff up. But long and the short, haven't been able to update the umbrellas onto my store. The bottle openers adapters, those are still on my Etsy shop. So if you're looking for those, I'm keeping those in stock. I'm trying to keep them restock if I'm running low. And then, of course, I do still have some tap handles that are available on my Etsy shop. But if people are looking for anything particular, just shoot me out a message. I'll try and get that updated onto one of my shops as soon as I can. Now, for this particular tap handle, there's a couple of things I wanted to touch on. First of all, the folks over at Narragansett are absolutely wonderful, just great guys. I've communicated with them before about doing collaboration and stuff like that. It hasn't quite panned out. One of the reasons for it is that their tap handles tend to be relatively hard to find. So I don't know if it's just that people are collecting them for themselves and aren't giving them up, or if it's something else. I know that they have sold some of theirs directly, but just out in the wild, it can be a little bit tricky to find their tap handles, either from collectors or from directly from Narragansett. Another thing that's worth noting as well is with Narragansett, it's actually a like revived brand. So Narragansett was originally out of Rhode Island. They went out of business, I believe. I don't know if I don't have the full details about it, but they went out of business and it wasn't around for a while, and then there were a few people that bought out the name and the rights to Narragansett, and they got all the old logos and that sort of stuff, and they've been producing Narragansett for a while now. I want to say that happened in the early aughts or something like that. But one of the things with that is you'll notice that their logos and their naming, so like this right here, the design of the name and stuff like that, is going to be the same designs as they were using before. So that means that telling the difference between the old ones and the new ones is mostly knowing the actual tap handles themselves and sometimes the beers that they were brewing. So as far as standard Narragansett, it's really just knowing the old tap handles versus the new tap handles. But there's also been some collaborations that they've done, like the Dell's collaboration as well as Autocrat. Both of those are ones that they've done. Those are newer ones. I don't believe there was anything like that happened with the old brand. And so that's a good way of telling that it's a relatively modern one. It's also worth noting that with Narragansett, they do sometimes have different versions of their tap handles. This is the newer version of the Dell's tap handle. There's an older one that looks like a beer can. So they've got a couple of beer can wrap ones, and then this one is one of their newer ones. I absolutely love the design of this. Just very iconic. They do a good job of incorporating the Dell's branding in there, and also just on the top, the lemon with a little bit of frost there is absolutely fantastic. If people don't know Dell's, it's a like lemon ice. I probably there's probably a proper term for it. If people know the proper term for it, I'm blanking on what you should call it. Let me know in the comments. But just a good tap handle. You'll notice here this design pattern wraps around. You do have a traditional two-sided style here, so the logo and the name are on the front and the back, and then on the top, that lemon and Narragansett are on both sides. You'll notice here that it's got a little design element there where that kind of overlaps. So it is a full flip. So that's just a very simple way of doing that. Simple but good. It does have the ferrule down on the bottom, so if you are picking one of these up, then you do want to make sure that you have that there, or you'll need to pick up a replacement for it. But just good solid tap handle, wonderful folks over at Dell's.